Medical Matters is proudly brought to you by the Gold Coast Primary Health Network. The network is tasked with identifying the health needs of our local community, funding and improving primary health services, and to keep people healthy and well and out of hospital. For localised health updates, news and information, log on to gcphn.org.au. And a very good morning to you. Welcome to our Monday talkback on this cosy morning here on the Gold Coast in Tweed. So no matter wherever you are, sit back now and get ready for a very interesting Medical Matters with our host of Normal, Dr Darryl Gregor. Good morning, Darryl.
Yeah, good morning, Wayne, and good morning to all your listeners out there as well. Well, look, this morning we've got I think a very interesting topic and a very interesting doctor to interview. So, without further ado, Dr Parnham, Alan Parnham, why don't you tell us a little bit about LuminaX?
Okay, so your listeners will have seen the Gold Coast Commonwealth Games site, the Athletes Village, which has sat around for a fair while without doing very much. That has been branded as the health and technology area for a long time, and we're just starting.
That's on Smith Street.
That's on Smith Street,
yeah.
And we're just starting to see big buildings going up now, and it attracting new businesses, new healthcare businesses to the Gold Coast. LuminaX is a couple of stages below that. So LuminaX is a government idea which is funded by both the state government and the Gold Coast City Council.
So not the federal government?
Not the federal government.
Okay.
And what they do is they take entrepreneurs and who have ideas about businesses in the health realm, and they help them to foster those ideas, to work out how those ideas can go from being just an idea to being a business. They have worked and been to different parts of Australia, and this whole process has been going on for 3 years, and currently they are attracting the very best entrepreneurs from all over Australia.
Okay. So you mentioned to me earlier you're a mentor and an investor to some of these people that are coming into the LuminaX space.
So about 3 years ago, my partner had an app, which was a language translator app, which she was using to translate English into foreign languages, because when you go to most conferences, they're all in English. And so a lot of people who have English as a second language don't get the benefit out of those conferences that the English speaking people do. Okay. And I went to the annual pitch night, which is, as you know, there's another one on this Thursday for this year, and was so impressed with one of the companies that probably after too many beers invested some money in that pitch night.
You wouldn't do that. No.
So that was the first time that I met this whole idea and was blown away by the positivity, how hard these guys work, how much they give up to try and get their idea into becoming a business, and especially into becoming a business that will actually help people from a health point of view.
So I guess you told me the term Health Tech Accelerator. So can you tell us what a Health Tech Accelerator really is?
Okay.
Who are the people involved in this? Because I know Cohort Innovation Space are providing the space for LuminaX, but just tell me a little bit about the people that are actually involved and how it got started and all that sort of stuff.
So the two people that run it are Ben Howe and Dren Zirksa. Mm-hmm. And they are two fellows with huge personality, and they have brought in multiple mentors, including myself, who they don't pay anything. But so I mentor them into looking at these different businesses, these different ideas, and suggesting whether they will be able to find a place in the healthcare of Australia or not. I've been a doctor in both the public and private hospitals for a long time, so feel like I'm able to do that. But they have tech billionaires that come and give up their time for free. They have artificial intelligence and computer guys come down and talk to them. They have financiers talk to them about how to get through the maze of finance companies who basically just want to take a big slice of their company and not actually put in much funding. So it's at the very early startups, all they have is a really good idea, but no way of finding their way through all of those hurdles and barriers to turning it into something which can actually help people's health. And so the whole of this accelerator network is there to corral them through all of those difficult hurdles. So, without something like the HealthTech Accelerator, a lot of these ideas, people would give up their jobs, and a lot of these ideas would just fall down because if you don't know what you don't know, and you go off and down lots of different pathways, whereas a project like this can keep them all on the same pathway. And work out whether their idea is good enough, so that the ideas will pass or fail based on the quality of the idea, not on them not being able to find funding or just going down the wrong road for a period of time.
So I guess it fits with the Gold Coast sort of personality, doesn't it? There's risk here, but there's also potential of real success.
So I mentor there for free.
Yes.
So obviously you've got to get something out of something if you're doing it for nothing. I've got other stuff to do with my time.
Sure.
But just being around these special people, they really are special people to give up their lives, give up their jobs, and then work for 2, 3, 4 years on an idea to try and promote that. And sometimes it's because their friends and family have had health issues, and this is the way they want to go. And sometimes it's just because they want to get rich. But any of those, if we can come up with these health ideas, and before to actually get these ideas off the ground and to actually monetize them, people have had to go overseas. They've had to go to California, and I think all of this stuff fits really well with the ethos of the Gold Coast, where we try hard and we work hard, and we are a new city. So I'm very, very happy to actually to help push these small health tech companies in the right direction.
Alan, are they geared towards the eventual outcome to be at patient level or at health management, to improve the management of our health within hospitals and bureaucracies?
So what I thought we might do is a couple of case studies. So I'll just go through a few case studies, but sort of my favourites. So I'm not supposed to have favourites, but
you're not one of the judges on Thursday night, are you?
Yes.
Because, it interests me that it was last week in the media, we had all week of technology in medicine, and it's moving forward at such a rapid rate. We're onto robots now that are being expanded to do their job in surgery. We've got mazes of research going on. It seems to me, are we running the risk of overloading the GP? How does the GP at primary care level keep across all of this?
So it's interesting you say that. So the apps are based at all the products are based at all different levels. So some of them are to help manage. So one of the ones I wasn't going to talk about, Wellify, is a program to help people deal with patients with mental health. So you don't forget anything. You always do it in this, and there's a few of them that actually. And there are programs where you can work out whether this child with autism meets all the criteria for going on and getting an urgent referral to a paediatrician, or this one has less criteria and so can wait a little longer. So even in this year's 10, there are a number of different programs that work at those different levels. Some that have a product which will actually help doctors practice, but a number that will actually help them work through the giant maze that is now the health system.
Okay, all right.
So this coming Thursday night's demo night at the Miami Marquetta.
Yep.
Can you tell us what it's going to be like there?
Okay, so each year there are 10 or 11 of these entrepreneurs.
So are these finalists, or they've been filtered already?
So they've been filtered already. So the exact numbers I can't quote, but I think there are around 120 people applied to join. So in the very first year there were about 25 people applied to join. Now there's 120 of the best entrepreneur ideas from all over Australia have applied to come here, and they fly to the Gold Coast to actually come and do this and then they fly home again. Mm-hmm. So they come here to do this entrepreneur accelerator from all over Australia, and they pick the best 10 from this year, and this is the best 10 and they go through. They meet with VC companies, they meet with billionaire entrepreneurs, they meet with me.
Yes.
As useful as that is, hopefully. And then at the demo night, they each get 10 minutes to pitch their ideas and where they are and what they and how they can actually then move on to the next stage to actually accelerate this up into being a proper profit-making business. So they each get 10 minutes. There will be venture capitalists there. There will be scientists there. There will be university there. There will be representatives from all of the main hospitals. There will be and representatives from the Gold Coast Council and probably some state MPs as well.
Okay. So are there other events like this throughout the country?
So there are, but it's so the.
In other words, what makes this one a bit different from the rest of them? Yeah.
So honestly, I believe that the two guys that are running it are really special people. So they care about what this is happening, and each year it's just become bigger and better. Mm-hmm. And so it's newer than all of the rest, and so it's a lot of things. Once you have an accelerator program or a mentor program for entrepreneurs, I suspect. I mean, I don't know what happens in the other states, but I suspect they get a little bit stale. So this one is rapidly improving. It's developing a name for itself around Australia as the best accelerator program in the country, and that's on the Gold Coast. You know, the town of skimpy bikinis and beers, and so this is science and technology and stuff that would normally go to Brisbane, would normally go to Sydney and Melbourne, and is now coming to the Gold Coast, and that really rocks my boat. Like I love living on the Gold Coast, but I don't really like the major cities thinking of us as a lesser partner in Australia. This is science and technology and businesses and people making money and producing products which will help everybody out in Australia. That's what the Gold Coast should be doing now. I think we've reached that area in our development. This is exactly the sort of stuff that we should have.
No, that's great. Look, forgive me, I interrupted you before when Wayne asked you, and you were going to tell us about a few of these.
Okay, so I thought we might do just a couple of...
Yes, and just a good segue for me, just to jump in, and we've got a couple of spots to play, so let's go to a short break, and we'll be right back with the case studies.
Okay.
Did you know that people aged 65 years and over are most at risk of developing serious complications from the flu and COVID-19. Given these viruses are widespread this time of year, vaccination is your best protection. Visit your GP or pharmacy today. And if you become sick, phone your doctor straight away about the best follow-up care. Authorised by our sponsor, Gold Coast Primary Health Network.
Nerang RSL.
Over 55's Express Menu. Great value meals for members for just $8.50 every day.
Nerang RSL.
Watch live sport on the massive screens.
Nerang RSL.
Reap the benefits and join today. Our sponsor, Nerang RSL.
Over to you.
Okay, so I'm just going to talk about just three of the entrepreneurs.
Yep.
10 is too many to talk about in the time we've got.
So great.
So I'll
give
start.
us an idea of what it's all about.
So I'll start with Flintworks. So Flintworks is a company, and what they so it's both a doctor and a tech person, and the tech person has the wraparound VER glasses that people play video games with. And their idea is to use those for patients with post-traumatic stress disorder. So if you have a phobia or you have post-traumatic stress disorder, and especially in people like the vets, you can put people in a very safe area and gradually introduce via the VER things which bring about that stress, and you can gradually build up the level of. If you're allergic to, if you're phobic of spiders, you can gradually build up the insult to that person's brain. Whilst maybe you use different drugs, maybe you just have them in a really nice area where they've got friends and family and healthcare workers around them, whilst you're actually introducing to that, and that helps people get over that stress or phobia. And so, and as I say, you can just, if you're scared of spiders, you can have one spider or a crushed spider to start. I'm making this up. A crushed spider to start with. I'm sure it's way better than that. But as I say, and whilst the patient is relaxed and in a safe environment, you will teach them to actually behaviourally teach them to actually get over their phobias.
So it's sort of like behavioural cognitive therapy on steroids, isn't it? Really.
So it is, but you have way more control over the stimuli that you're giving to the patient.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Especially a crushed spider. I mean, it's very technical. If you'd like to join us this morning and join in our technology segment, we would love you to join us. 5520 8888. But it's serious stuff. It's good technology. It's technology that in some people they could go through that exercise without having to take medication. There's the two choices there now. At least it provides another choice for the patient.
Or to wean them off.
Yes.
Well, it effectively cures the patient.
That's right.
Really. I mean, that sounds pretty interesting.
It's technology at its best.
Yeah.
Mm.
So the other one the other one I'd like to talk about is thermal armour. So that's Nick. He is a driven man. So he has invented a product which keeps people warm during prolonged operations. So that doesn't sound like much in the way of technology at all. So we have blankets, right? We have like hot water bottles. How can that be? But it turns out that in operations that go on for a long period of time, one of the major problems is that the body cools down, and when the body cools down, it doesn't work quite so well. And you introduce stress, like cutting bits of them out. If you allow the body to cool, then more patients go to intensive care, more people die.
Mm.
Nick is going to make hundreds of millions of dollars. This is just a brilliant idea. And he's come with that idea, and again, so that the guys in LuminaX can actually point him in the right direction, not take his brilliant idea and try and flog it to different places. They've introduced him to venture capital companies. They've got him moving in the right direction to actually monetize this really brilliant idea.
Patient comfort at its best.
Patient safety.
And safety.
So,
yes.
And he's also he's also got the military. People get shot on the battlefield. They bleed out, or they die of hypothermia whilst they're bleeding out. The military are really keen to use this project in the battlefield.
Wonderful.
Interesting. Let's have another one, Alan.
So Templar is is Lucy. So Lucy is so passionate about this idea. So you will have listeners who will have whiteboards where they stick ideas. So like little post-it notes. I'm going to do my shopping today. I'm going to become a health tech millionaire. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to run the 100 meters in 10 seconds. All of those plans to actually the visualization boards. She has a product where you can actually put your own photographs into the ideas, and actually, so you can get an immersive visualization of where you actually want to go. So it can come with soothing music. It can come with the people like giving you, telling you what to do, and giving you and lifting up the way you feel. So it has this. So it's like post-it notes on steroids. It's obviously way better than that, but it is real feel good and help people in sport.
From what you've said, they visualise their goal further into the future, and they, in their quieter sleeping moments, even they start to
work out the way to get into the way.
I like that one. I think a lot of young people need that, even old people too. Yeah.
And probably all the rest of the entrepreneurs should have it, just so that they can work, because it concentrates your mind, and it's
a self-fulfilling prophecy. Once you start to sort of see yourself,
you see it. So that's another really brilliant idea, which you don't think of as it's sort of more wellness. So you don't really think of wellness as being part of being health tech, but it just makes it better and easier for people to do.
It'll be interesting to see who takes out the prize. Have you got another one to share with us?
I've got. There are 10 if we've got some time.
It's not 10, but maybe just give us another one and just see.
Just with Lucy, the idea being that it's a self-prophecy is a good concept, but how do they get that? Do they put? How does the image of me in the future running a marathon? How do I get that into here?
Into
my head.
So it actually, again, it's they write a computer program, and you have pictures of yourself with music and headphones, and that's this same sort of immersive stuff, and that's all you can see. You're concentrating on just what you were doing. You see somebody running, you can see, so they can set all of that up where you see yourself running the 100 meters. You see yourself being your boss. And that's all you see. And in the background, there's things talking to you like, you can do this.
Yes,
This is, and if you spend, so that's very difficult to do when you're on your own, surrounded by the traffic lights, the 9 o'clock news, whereas you just put yourself in a space, and once you're in that space, your own brain comes up with ideas about how to get. So you put yourself and you go down towards that ideal of where you want to be,
yes.
And then it clears your brain of other ideas.
Well, other ideas, particularly self-sabotaging ideas. People often sort of have good ideas, but they
make
convince
excuses.
Themselves they're going to fail for sure, so they won't even try. I really like that, actually.
Yes,
I think that's
it's
going
good technology.
Help a lot of young people, but some not so young as well.
And so there are a couple of, you were talking before about helping the huge health service deal with staff. So MedApps is one of those. So they are already. So if you go to some of the country hospitals, they can't find anywhere near enough staff. So MedApps. A lot of their work is done through locums, and so MedApps has all of the. So if I were to go to a country hospital and work there doing a locum for maybe 2 weeks, I would have to learn all of the processes that they go through in that different hospital, who to refer the bowel cancers to, who to refer for renal failure, who to refer to for vascular access surgery. Whereas their MedApps, it has they help the hospitals, and they put all of that into one area and to tell the new doctors coming where the car parks are, where they can get lunch, where there's a decent curry house around the corner, and they've already got a functioning business which is working in some of the, so they're already probably a step above some of the other entrepreneurs. They've already got a functioning business which is making money. They just want to know how to get it to the next level, how to get other hospitals, other hospital groups to embrace what they do.
Fabulous, isn't it?
Okay.
It is fabulous.
You mentioned the word money. You mentioned to me earlier about funding. Can you tell us a little bit about where you're planning to have the funding come from to sort of fund these projects into the future?
Okay. All right. So far we have. So far it's depended upon people that go to the pitch night, like myself, that drink too much and then give their money away. And in fairness, I've now invested in three of these companies, and each is worth more than when I first invested. So I'm doing okay. We are looking at putting together a proper fund, which the state government is looking at, or federal government is looking at, putting in half as much money as if we can get local people to put in money into that same
So
fund.
they'll match it dollar for dollar.
They'll match it dollar for dollar, and it will not be subject to capital gains tax. So if any of these companies do become unicorns are those countries that end up being worth $1 billion.
Yes.
You'll get that without tax on top. You will, of course, also run the risk of losing all of your money. So this is not a retirement fund but it's but again, we have that much money. We start to look like the big cities.
Yes.
And so I'm really keen to actually work with both Ben and Dren about setting up that fund to actually help these guys out even more, to actually boost the finance that goes into them, and then to get more of this stuff done on the Gold Coast.
I'm sure there'll be listeners out there. I mean, you've hit my hot button immediately with the capital gains tax exemption sort of factor. How do people potentially learn to understand what Demo Night's doing and what LuminaX is doing, and how do they invest? Are there websites for people to sort of make a formed decision about what they should do?
So there isn't at the moment, and so people have to be, I forget what the term is, special investors, or they have to be...
Oh, yeah, sophisticated
investors.
Yeah.
So you're not allowed to invest, not allowed to invest in this stuff unless you are a sophisticated investor. And I'm not really sure of the financial criteria for that. And I think that's one of the things that Ben and Dren that we need to talk about, is how we get, because I'm sure there'll be a lot of heart for actually setting up this fund on the Gold Coast to promote the Gold Coast, promote businesses and jobs on the Gold Coast.
Yes, well, look, the ideas and the case studies you've just outlined to our audience here this morning of just are helping the patient on the ground. We're up in the dizzy heights of the sky at the present time, but it's filtering through, and it's all happening here where we live on the fabulous Gold Coast. Alan, I'd like to thank you so much for your time again this morning, and Darryl, thank you so much for your time as well. Look forward to seeing Alan again for another update on what's happening in the technology.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Alan.
Bye now. Medical Matters is proudly brought to you by the Gold Coast Primary Health Network. The network is tasked with identifying the health needs of our local community, funding and improving primary health services, and to keep people healthy and well and out of hospital. For localised health updates, news and information, log on to gcphn.org.au.